Welcome, everyone. So as he said, we'll cover Bluetooth in this event. Not only Bluetooth, also multi-protocol solutions. So my name is Noordhoek. I'm here from Nordic Semiconductor. I'll be working here for the last 8 years. Last year, I wouldn't have been here. This year, though, we had something really interesting to show. Our latest Bluetooth solutions from Bluetooth 6, but also new processors, a new product family, basically. For that reason, I think it's useful to have a presentation here, show you all what we have to offer, and have a light dive into what we have to offer here, basically. So this is our next generation devices. Nordic itself, you may know, is a market leader on the Bluetooth Low Energy solutions. We have about 40% market share in this business. It started with simple Bluetooth solutions from the 51 series, 52 series, 53 series, and we ended up at a 54 series. What we have currently, and why I'm here, is we have the 54L15 series and a couple of derivatives of this. Those are in mass production at the moment. Proud of this. A lot of designs going on with this at the moment, and we hope for a lot more. What does it mean? It's not just Bluetooth what we offer. We offer, as you can see, Matter solutions with this. There's Thread solutions, Zigbee solutions, proprietary 2.4 gigahertz connectivity, and end connections. So basically, all kind of connectivity solutions you would need for your short-range devices, short-range connectivity to other kind of devices is what we cover. Slightly on the right-hand side, you see a different device, 54LM20, brand new, introduced last week. We have a lot of material on this on our booth if you want more information, but it's part of the whole 54L family. Then the big question, where do you see our solutions fit? We're not looking out any verticals in the business except for automotive. But basically what we see here, advanced Bluetooth devices, those are the smarter tracker, the smarter watches, smaller displays on it, with more I/O pin requirements, more sensor requirements. And then we fit those kind of devices, so the LM20, LM15 solutions in. Then we have the very simple Bluetooth solutions, simple trackers, really low-cost devices, small packages, small batteries. We can fulfill with the smaller devices we have. One of the big areas we're active in as well is the smart home and industrial area. Usually a lot more flash and memory is required. So basically what we fit there in is the Matter solutions, Aliro solutions, as a host of our Wi-Fi solutions, so basically Wi-Fi plus a Bluetooth device to build the system. And it enables, due to the bigger flash and RAM sizes, the ecosystem of other stacks. Last one here is USB solution, so basically the HID devices, mice, keyboard, and these kind of solutions. We have the LM20 with a USB host interface on it. The question then, where are we positioned? I think most of the people know the 52 series. We've been running this for about 10 years. It was high time to get something new. So the follow-up of this is the 54L family. It's a big change for Nordic. We moved from a 55 nanometer process towards a 22 nanometer process, resulting in a lot of advantages there on cost and a couple of others I'll mention in a moment. The 53 series is still out there, important one in the whole timeline basically, but it's mostly because of the audio kind of applications, a bit more memory and a dual core possibility. And what we see as well then is the 54H family. I just thought I'd mention it here. This one is a really high-end device, 2 high-speed cores, 2 low-speed cores, a lot of flash memory and a massive amount of interfaces, basically. So this one is not really in production publicly yet, but this device exists and is out there fairly soon. This is a boring table. I just thought mention it quickly. It's publicly available on our website for later reading. But what we see clearly here is the different sizes of flash on the top level, different RAM sizes between the solutions, so you can really pick and choose what you need for your different applications. What we see on the LM20 side is a lot more serial interfaces, often appreciated by slightly larger designs. And what is interesting as well, we see here on all devices we have a RISC-V processor for complex protocols and these kind of things that you would like to include into your system. All of them have an increased TX output power, so you get more range with the devices as well. And what we see here, key, is the large number of I/O pins on the big device that's been released this week. Now the big thing, Nordic is known for low power. We build low power devices. That's what we've always done. That's what we are strong at. And we're going to compare what we delivered on these devices. First of all, we have the ARM Cortex. So what does it do? What does it give us in the new solutions? The only thing to measure that really is on the core mark benchmarking. The old device has 212 core mark. 54L is at 503, so really 2 times increase of performance. More important, where does it stand with the power consumption basically versus the core marks? And you see a 3 times improvement from 64 to 193 core mark per milliamp, basically. Nice way of measuring. What does this give you? Because those are just numbers. So basically what we see then is the processing time. You have a certain task to do, but how are you going to do this? So what you see then, on the 52 series, you can have a specific task and it takes you this amount of time. You can sleep and you do the task again. Some AI computation, whatever you want to do on your device. Then the next one, you can say, I'll take the same computational task on the 54 series. It does it in a shorter amount of time. You have more time to sleep, and it uses less current. So basically, this is where the advantage comes between the different devices, the old family versus the new family of solutions. We have connectivity. We're not talking just about processor performance. So if we look at the connectivity performance, we really look at the TX and the RX of the Bluetooth radio. You see clear improvement as well here. At the different output powers, we have between 22 and 39% gain of efficiency versus power. And it translates in these kind of numbers if we talk about milliamps. RX side, quite important because there's a lot of listening happening in a communication system. So we have about 50% improvement on the receiving side. Having good hardware is one thing. More important actually is how you're going to use this hardware. Just having a good chip doesn't bring you a good product. A good chip doesn't make the customer happy. You need a lot more than that. So what we have on the left-hand side is basically the wireless devices, the chips, the protocol stacks, the support for the radio of Bluetooth, Matter, and other kind of applications. The next step is what you need is a solid development environment. That means hardware, kits, samples, tools, development boards, debugger interfaces, these kind of things. On top of that, you have a software that needs to build, and we hit there the NRF Connect SDK. NRF Connect SDK is introduced a couple of years ago by Nordic as a generic development tool to be used for all our development environments. So what you see here is the 52 to 54 series, but it also works on our cellular solutions and Wi-Fi solutions. So basically, everything is included into a single device, in a single development environment. Next step it is what you want to do. You have your development environment, you have your hardware, you can build your application, and you want to connect it. And the next step there is basically connecting it to the mobile applications. There's applications for that, examples for this, how to do this, different libraries on the software side. But the next step usually is you want to connect it to something else, like a cloud interface through your mobile device, for example. What it gives then, the tools that we offer, is the OTA, over-the-air updates, through your mobile phone, through a cloud interface, debugging interfaces, and the monitoring. What is not mentioned here yet is our MEMFold solution, which allows you to look from remote, from your cloud site, basically, into your device that is in the field, and see what cordons there are, how many resets there were, how much memory the application uses if the user uses this in the field. That's newly added. Happy to discuss that on our booth later on. And the last bit then is how to educate, how to make sure you get from, with all the tools, to the right product. And for that, we have the Dev Academy. It has a lot of courses on how to use our tools, quickly how to get started, down to every little detail on how to build your application. DevZone is mentioned here. DevZone is the place to ask your questions. Is the place to discuss with others how you should solve problems. And then the last ones are basically the Nordic Tech Tour. And what do we have here? The webinars, of course. So basically, the early material is presented by the webinars. You can always look them back on our website. And on the other hand, you have the Nordic Tech Tour that is starting in EMEA in the next month. So go there, and for a day long, you get all the material on the new Nordic devices. All that together basically brings you a successful product in a decent amount of time. Last slide on this one, and this is a very high level from something extremely big and complex together. So we believe strongly in the Zephyr development environment. Zephyr is RTOS and everything that builds Zephyr for your application. It starts with the hardware. You have Zephyr drivers. Nordic contributes a lot here as well into the community. Host interfaces, libraries, samples is what we offer in the development environment. So basically, you install it all, and in a short amount of time, you have a massive amount of tools, examples, how to get started and build your own hardware and software. So your application yourself, you build on top here. The last one that we have here as well is the bare metal option. This is a large step up from what we have in the past from an SDK. Simple software to build your application into NCS, NRF Connect solution that is fairly large and complex to get started with. There is a road in the middle, which we call the bare metal option. It's introduced like 2 weeks ago. If you really want to stay away from a large environment, but complete, you can go for a very lightweight version, but with a list of limitations. So you have 2 options to choose from there. If you're familiar with NRF Connect, stay with it. If you really want to start and you don't have the time, pick the bare metal solution. So we have 2 options there to choose from. Running out of time. I appreciate your listening here. Any questions at the moment? That's fine. We have a booth here. If you want to discuss details later on, we're there to help you out. So.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pat.